Hello friends. As I record this video today, I stand in the midst of the kitchen here at the church. I love kitchens. I love the food that is prepared in a kitchen. Did you know that according to recent studies, the kitchen is the most heavily utilized room in our homes nowadays? It's not the living room, it's the kitchen. It's that space where we prepare meals. It's often the space where we eat those meals, and ultimately it's the space we clean up after our meals. But the biggest reason the kitchen is so fundamentally important is that the kitchen is a space where relationships are developed and enhanced by doing all of those things, by preparing, by consuming, by cleaning. I mean, when you think about it, there really is no more closely guarded secret in all the world than the family recipes that we have. It's those meals that we prepare and ultimately share when we're in large groups with one another. There are few things in the world that can be more bond building than making Christmas cookies together or partaking of my wife's secret recipe of a homemade candy cake. Now, for the church, that's what we're missing right now, though. We are missing all of those activities that have brought us together over the years where we say, remember when at church so-and-so did this? Or how we had this wonderful meal? We are missing the activities that bring us together. And the ultimate question is always, why? Well, for the last 18 months, that answer is pretty easy, and it stayed the same. The answer is COVID. It was the mantra back in March of 2020, and it's the mantra right now. COVID. And that mantra is important to understand. It's important because this new Delta variant of COVID is raging over parts of our country and in our own community. So we have to be vigilant. We have to stay safe. We have to wear our masks and maintain our distances, and we have to get our vaccinations. If you want the pandemic to end, this is what we have got to do. We here at the Presbyterian Church of Sweet Hollow hear you. I hear you. The leadership in the session, we hear you. We hear your frustrations, especially when you feel like we shouldn't need to wear masks. We feel the anxiety that you feel when you tell us about your unvaccinated children or your immunocompromised parents. For some of us, there is outright fear. There have been too many deaths. Too many deaths. And we all know of someone that has lost a friend or a family member to COVID. We all know someone that has been hospitalized or had to stay home or quarantine because of COVID. So I am here to share that we, as the leaders of your church, honor all those feelings. The feelings of frustration and anger, of your sadness, your concern, your fear, your hope. We hear them all. And let me tell you, the session of the church has been in an unenviable position for trying to walk the line of how do we engage and be the church yet still remain safe? That is the overarching question that we address on a case-by-case situation, sometimes day by day. And it's the reason that the session meetings often take much longer than they should, because as the leaders of the church, we care about you. In one of my devotions, I recently was reminded of the story of Jesus and Lazarus. Now, Lazarus was the friend of Jesus that died from some unnamed illness. And when Jesus was informed of his illness, Jesus did not go to see his friend right away. Rather, he found Lazarus after he was in the tomb for 4 days. And it was then that Jesus wept. But it was also that time when Jesus resurrected Lazarus from the dead. It must have been glorious. It was astonishing. It was miraculous. And it is a great story to show that God is not dead, that God definitely cares about all of us. God cares about the little church with a big heart. Now, I share all of this with you right now to let you know that God is still alive in our little church. God is alive in the worship that we have every Sunday at 10 a.m., whether you are here in person, on Zoom, or watching on Facebook Live. God is alive in the weekly prayer circle that gathers every Wednesday morning, that holds together those prayers of our hearts and our minds and our souls. God is alive in the mission where we just dedicated a substantial amount of school supplies for kids in the Huntington area. Friends, God is alive. And because God is alive here in our little church, we will continue to make plans. And we will make those plans while providing safe opportunities for us to gather and to glorify and celebrate a God that cares for each one of us. Now, some ideas that have come across the tables and have been discussed include a return to choir. That begins in the end of August, the last Thursday of August. Or how about a service of installation on the 26th of September, where we get to share the Spirit of God moving through the joint efforts of the church, of the pastor nominating committee, the presbytery, and my calling to be your pastor for a long-term future. There are also plans in the works as we speak to have small listening groups with myself and a member of session to discuss your experiences, your journey, your hopes, your dreams, and my visions for Sweet Hollow. The first of these opportunities will actually begin on Wednesday, September 8th, and another for Saturday, September 18th. So be sure to look for information via email or print coming soon on those. Another thing that's beginning to start back up is communion for our at-home members. They will also resume in September in a manner that is safe and socially distant. We are already planning for poinsettias for our Christmas Eve worship, and many, many other things coming down the pike. So yes, God is alive. And the church is having many discussions that are ongoing. And the overarching theme of all of these discussions is, can we do it safely? Can we do it respectfully? Can we do it faithfully by maintaining the love we have for our neighbors at the heart of it? Friends, the wheels are turning and we are getting traction, but we have to take that safe and slow route to get where we are headed together. And together is the key. We, the leaders of the church, want to do this all with you. So bear with us on this journey, on this slow journey. It's a journey that's more like a rowboat and not a speedboat right now. But we can row together. Soon we will be using this kitchen space a little more frequently, I hope. Not yet, but soon. Friends, please remember, no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, God loves you and cares for you just the way you are. See you soon.